Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kaiserreich. We're playing as the Russian Republic. Viktor Chernov has been assassinated. How barbaric. We have to set a national focus. We no longer have entrenched opposition. We we can create the Third Europe faction if we want. Let's see. We could try to control the Supreme Court. Interesting. I think I'm going to go Third Europe first. In the post-Great War world, two political blocs emerged. The first directed from Berlin, subjugating much of Central and Eastern Europe. The second directed from Paris, calling for socialist revolution around the world. Moscow has never been a part of either, so we're reaffirming our ambitions. This third bloc shall become our reality, liberating Europe from the Kaiser's slave armies and Bolshevism. And we are, of course, out of fuel. Fuel. Over here. What does this do? Training experience. Yeah. That's interesting. I like that it tells us exactly what's going on there. So we're going to stop training. Shots fired by Kerensky. Alexander Kerensky, former leader of the Russian Provisional Government until its overthrow, began in the Russian Civil War, and held by many as responsible for it, has leveled charges against the Savinkov government that is dragging Russia on the road back to tyranny, destroying all the progress Russia has made since its victory over the Bolsheviks. The former president has leveled particular criticism on the government's decision to hand the investigation of Chernov's killing to General Kornilov, a move that Kerensky has caustically described as like putting Fox in charge of the hen coop. As for Savinkov himself, Kerensky did not spare his former Minister of War either, saying that this serpent, Savinkov, will strangle Russia's freedom today in a manner he failed to do so with Kornilov 20 years ago. This isn't the first time that Kerensky's commented on Russian affairs, but as the years have passed, so has the shock value of his pronouncements, having alienated even his most fervent supporters in Russia during his brief stint at the country's helm. Many in Kerensky's motherland simply see him as a washed-out relic, banking on his past achievements to earn speaking tours off of credulous Westerners. Kerensky is currently living in exile in New York City, and while his most recent batch of inflammatory statements have made the rounds in American and European newspapers, they've all been completely ignored within Russia itself. Nice try, old man. You're too slow. Okay. Need oil. Apparently I don't have any. An operative can be recruited. Probably. We'll grab, Kuznetsov. Okay. Ah. Okay. A bunch of stuff just happened. Okay. Let's start with the least relevant. The Fifth Anglo-Afghan War. You know what? Who cares about Afghanistan? Black Monday. On the 3rd of February, 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange stopped sinking. It plunged. Fueled by the instability of the market, panic selling erupted as soon as the stock market opened on Monday morning. It took well into the night for the teleprinters to stop sputtering out the results of what became known as Black Monday. When the results had been analyzed, it's clear the situation had only gotten worse. The shock of this unprecedented catastrophe will, no doubt, be felt over the entire world. The German Golden Age has ended, for now at least. Mein Gott. Whoa. A lot of stuff's happening. Okay, electoral gridlock in France. Interesting. Uh-oh. I don't know why it's saying out of fuel. Is it specifically... somebody specific out of fuel? These guys have all the fuel they need. Okay, weird. Alright. A socialist conspiracy? With additional investigations into Leonidov's background, the Fifth Department has come up with a more convincing theory. Nikolai Leonidov was a socialist radical, and the murder was politically motivated. To back his claims, Kornilov pointed to recently uncovered evidence of Leonidov's connection with a radical maximalist offshoot of the Socialist Revolutionaries, who have alleged to have plotted Chernov's assassination due to the chairman's treasonous cooperation with bourgeois and reactionary parties. In fact, if Leonov committed this act under orders from the left Socialist Revolutionaries, grant justification for immediate action, mass arrest of the party leadership, banning of the party organs, and eradicating the mass conspiracy before they can threaten the safety of the president himself. Kornilov has proposed preventative actions against the conspiracy before it can strike again, and has requested the president to activate Article 17 of the Constitution, giving the War Ministry extraordinary powers to arrest any person who may be involved, with the power to crack down on any possible disorder that may follow. Let's not be hasty. Berlin stock market crash. Since the Berlin Exchange's first precipitous plunge weeks ago, businessmen and market analysts have observed the aftershocks of Black Monday in silent horror. The flood of bankruptcies, inflation, and general panic has surged across Europe and struck Russia like a runaway train. In an eerie repetition of events 10 years ago, the value of the rubles plummeted in sympathy with the German mark, wiping out fortunes overnight. Given Russia's close economic ties with Germany under the Vilnius Agreement, Russian industries and businesses are collapsing into insolvency almost in lockstep with their German counterparts across Russia. Every day brings with it a new grim tally of lost jobs and livelihoods. Oh no! So, popular ranger increases by 1. German economic influence decreases, and we get a big old debuff. Yeah, not good. Probably should organize relief work. Improve our economic recoveries. All this good stuff. All that good stuff. Anyways. We can get a Spirit of the Academy. Should we do that? Oh boy. Grand Doctrine. Right. This all works differently now. Except for the Special Forces Doctrines, which do not. Right, we have Rangers. I have no idea what their deal is. Forest Fighters. Forest Fighters. Okay. Right. Mountaineers have Army Scouts. Oh, these have a specific thing called Training in Siberia, Training in the Caucasus. That's fun. We got Mountaineers, eyes and ears. Yeah, I don't really know why Marines or paratroopers would be. I don't know. Paratroopers are allegedly good. I don't know how to use them. Oh, the war's over. Predictably, it ended the same way it almost always does. Austrian Empire withdraws from Italy. Austrian influence wanes further. Belgrade is like, ha ha ha, hee hee hee, ho ho ho. Or a military conspiracy. While Kornilov's theory of a socialist conspiracy does fit the typical Svobodnik narrative and would give the government another reason to crack down on leftist opponents, the Okhrana director, Flegont Klepikov, has urged caution to the president. The Department of State Security Protection has been conducting their own shadow investigation and are increasingly suspicious of Kornilov's intentions. Recent reports from the Okhrana regarding Leonidov's background have brought up several irregularities. No nameless drifter. Instead, appears that Leonidov has several relatives in the headquarters of the Petrograd Military District. Moreover, the Okhrana has uncovered a series of staff and garrison reshuffles in Petrograd and Moscow that the army largely neglected to mention. These could be simple coincidences or minor background work to facilitate the killing of Chernov. But some whisper that Kornilov may have greater ambitions than just helping Savinkov eliminate his rivals. A disturbing theory. And the illusion of Qing hegemony shatters. The end of an era. Alright, German order in Asia may still hold. Chernov's funeral. As chairman of the state council, Viktor Chernov is entitled to funeral state honors, though the idea is, of course, not particularly liked by many in the SZRS. It was intended to be rather quick and small. State funerals quickly threatening to become a great mass event as more and more people wish to pay their respects to the fallen legend. There's a distinct lack of government representation at the funeral. The only visitors present was Ivan Ilyin from the SOR, proceeded to pay Chernov lukewarm respects for his long career as a statesman. But from the opposition there are hundreds, some having come all the way from Petrograd or Samara just to pay their respects. As the coffin was being carried, someone started to sing the first notes of Radin's Comrades, Let's Bravely March. The crowd continues. Comrades, let's bravely march. Our resolve gets stronger in the struggle. We will fight our way towards liberty. After the funeral, crowds of thousands gathered in the summer garden in front of the Petrograd court chambers. Maria Spiridonova held fierce speech, demanding justice for Chernov. While the protesters were shouting down with Kornilov, it's obvious their dissent was also included. In their dissent was also included the sitting president. The event has quickly turned into an anti-government rally led by the socialist revolutionaries, a public show of force by the opposition. We could break it up and arrest the agitators. Or, yeah, it's just words. You know? I'm not sure this hugely matters. Losing stability is less than ideal. Our stability is already quite low. I don't think this, like, it's just words. Okay, you can select a new faction goal. Oh! Short-term goals. Look at this. It's like a game. It's like a whole new game. Expand the faction. Appoint a spy master. Get long-term goals. Nothing. Medium term. Baku and Platesi oil fields. Research Instruction 4. Industrial expansion. Conquer the Bosphorus. Control the Dardanelles. Maintain air superiority. Establish a Marine Corps. Expand the submarine fleet. Control the Suez Canal. Okay. Escort convoys across the ocean. Alright, what's down here? Hold on. Spy Master. How do we do that? There currently is no Spy Master. Interesting. Faction influence. Little baby members. More army XP might not be bad. Number of faction-controlled border states without maximum infrastructure is less than 10. Huh. Interesting. Okay, I don't know if that's a good idea. Joint research practices, joint command structure. I feel like joint command structure will probably be good. Oh. Building facilities might also not be bad. Huh. Upgrade form department. Interesting. Yeah, build military R&D facilities. Develop joint research practices. I'll develop joint research practices. We will eventually get this just for free. Get a medium-term goal. That's like a huge shift. Oh, this is actually not that hard. At least 100k fighters in the faction. To develop, maintain air superiority. Suez Canal, that's a little too hard. Get way more screen. Get amphibious armor. Get more submarines. I'm going to get air superiority. And the long-term goal, we can't choose one yet. Anyways. Anshin Click declared war on Left KMT. Alright, so they're fighting in China. Can select a new faction goal, can I? I can't. Alright. Give me organized relief work. Black Monday has sent the Russian economy spiraling. In times like these, drastic measures are needed. The creation of a public works program will ensure that unemployment does not reach the bottom of the pit, allowing everyday Russians to get back on their feet for a modicum of economic stability. Ooh, Franco-Russian treaty. Oh! Approach the Entente is also an alternative. We could also sponsor Belgrade. Alright, we're going to do organized relief work briefly. Military intervention. I feel like we might want to sponsor Belgrade right now. Serbia, Romania, Greece, a trifecta. No, I need to do organized relief work right now. Okay. Black money sent the Russian economy spiraling. In times like these, drastic measures are needed. The creation of a public works program will ensure that unemployment does not reach the bottom of the pit, allowing everyday Russians to get back on their feet for a modicum of economic stability. We need a spirit of the academy. Oh, there's so much more stuff. Huh. This is all from our doctrines. Mobile warfare, superior firepower, mass assault, grand battle plan, and also grand battle plan. Interesting. Huh. Cult to the volunteer. Academy scholarships. One of these is... ideological loyalty. We maybe want a 500 manpower monthly is not that much. Yeah. It's not bad. I like that they've renamed a lot of these to be, like, specifically Russian. That's pretty awesome. All these require an active doctrine. That's cool. I think bold attack is generally considered to be the good one. Let's just do bold attack. Okay. And if we have extra production, it should go to airframe production. But we probably won't, because we're in the middle of an economic crash. Oh boy. Riots in southern Russia. Ooh. So we get to choose who gets mad at us. Chernov's assassination. Riots in southern Russia. Chernov's assassination has whipped Moscow and Petrograd into a frenzy, but they're hardly the only cities in Russia facing unrest in the wake of the chairman's untimely end. Rumors have spread like a firestorm across southern Russia, whispering that Chernov's death is only the first step in a Svobodnik coup d'etat. What began as factory strikes in cities like Rostov-on-Don, Yekaterinodar, and Stavropol, among others, have escalated dramatically in the past few days. Started ostensibly as protests against the SZRS, the strikes have quickly drawn in other elements of the region's non-Cossack population, referred to as Ingorodny, or outsiders. The non-Cossack Slavs now form upwards of half the populations of the Don, Kuban, Terek, and Astrakhan Cossack hosts. Despite this, Ingorodny are largely excluded from politics and owning land. Instead, they work roles considered beneath the Cossacks' dignity as a military estate, such as factory workers, farmhands, or urban bourgeoisie. This discrimination has been justified on the grounds that the Cossacks, like many mountaineer people, are legally considered indigenous to the region, and their autonomy is guaranteed under the federal constitution. Nonetheless, the state of affairs has led to profound resentment among the Ingorodny, which rapidly led to recent strikes evolving into bloody riots. The Cossack response has seen crowds harshly dispersed with cavalry charges and swinging whips. The Ingorodny have accused the Cossacks of police brutality, while the Cossacks have shot back that they only intervene when mobs begin targeting Cossack homes and families. Both groups have petitioned the federal government to recognize the legality of their actions. The Cossacks can handle their own affairs, increasing popular anger, or the Cossacks stop. No need to provoke more opposition. The Cossacks can handle their own affairs. This is irritating me. Oh. Who can... Faction research. Faction military operations. Faction intelligence. Aha! This is how this works. That's cool. That's cool. Non-socialist countries only. Countries on the same continent only. Countries at peace. Oh, yeah, alright, so this is DLC stuff. I like this. Reactionary countries only. Same or similar leader. Same ideology as faction leader only. Own subjects only. Neat. Who can call members to the roll? Majors, independent, faction leader. Who can call members to the war? World situation. Ah, second one. Got it. Okay. So that a lot of that is like restricted by the situation. All right. Knight to c6. As an old gambler, Boris Viktorovich decided to play Kornilov's game. He made a public appearance and commented to the rest that there may be a conspiracy afoot against the government, and that several army officers have already been arrested on suspicion of involvement in Chernov's death. Such a public blaming of the army is nothing short of a declaration of war on Kornilov, an invitation to a duel of wills. It has, however, shocked and incensed many members of the army, both among rank and file, and those involved in the assassination plot. The memories of Bolsheviks' 1929 push are strong, and now the government has made it clear that it will oppose any threats to the Republic from the armed forces. The past few days have seen communications between Savinkov and Kornilov break down almost entirely. The Supreme Commander of the Army has remained silent in the headquarters of Moscow Military District, surrounded by forces loyal to him, and avoided any response to the accusations of the president. Not giving Kornilov any more time to plot, Boris Savinkov has ordered him to arrive in person at a meeting of the War Ministry in the Kremlin. Your move, Georgievich. All right. With that, I will see you in the next episode. Ooh, what will happen next? You'll just have to wait and see. Bye-bye.